Hi, I'm Jay Hyde here at Shepherd Community, and welcome. It's April. We just celebrated Easter. 400 and some kids and families came to experience the hope of Easter here at Shepherd Community. We appreciate our friends at Southland Christian Church who made it possible for us to make that happen. Last week, we had the privilege to host Dr. Ben Carson, famous surgeon and a leader who has accomplished many things, but he came here to talk about a program that we are partnering with him to expand his Carson Scholars program as well as his Carson Libraries, something very important to him. And we hosted here that morning a gathering of community leaders. Wade Wangler from Noble, James Taylor from Bonner Center, Jim Morris from Habitat for Humanity, lots of folks. Our city council president was the moderator, Vop Osley, and Eric Mueller from Dream Alive, Aaron Story from Elevate, and I could go on and on and on, and I'll probably forget someone. But it was a great gathering. And then we had the privilege with Tim Swarens to do a podcast interview with Dr. Carson. Here, take a look and see a little bit about what was happening that very special day.
Seeing that we have such a broad range of individuals in this room today, and we're all here for a purpose, and that's to glean some wisdom from Dr. Carson and Mrs. Carson. I'd like to ask you if you could list off the top 3 priorities that you would single out, that said this is how we begin to mend a community, tie in our community members, and actually make a significant difference in the lives of our children.
Well, that's such an important question because, when I look at our country today, in terms of threats to our country and to our way of life, it's not China, it's not Russia, it's not Iran, it's us. It's each other, and the fact that we've allowed ourselves to be made into enemies because we may have a disagreement about something. And we really have to start recognizing that we have real enemies in this world. There are those who do not like America, who do not like our way of life, who would very much like to see us gone. And those are our enemies. We're not enemies of each other because we have a disagreement about something. But obviously, the way to solve that is we need to open a dialogue. The left and the right need to open dialogues because I think deep down, we all want the same things. But we have these deep philosophical differences in terms of how we get there. And when you live in a society that has multiple opinions, it becomes necessary to make some compromise. My way or the highway does not work in a society that has lots of different opinions, but working together does. And we agree on a lot more than we disagree on, so why not use that as our launching point, the things that we agree on, and work from there. That's number 1 key. The number 2 key is recognizing that if you have a normal brain, you can do almost anything. The human brain is an incredible gift. We're made in the image of God. And it's just a matter of how are you going to program that brain. And there was a time in our history as a nation that we were looked upon as a very highly educated society. That has changed. And we have spent less time thinking about how do we prepare our children to deal in a very sophisticated world. And that's going to hurt us very badly unless we correct it soon. So we need to recognize that there is urgency when it comes to preparing the minds of our young people. And then the third thing is the family, recognizing that our families are falling apart. People are not getting married. They're getting married much later than they used to. The marriages are breaking up because people have these fantasies about what marriage is all about. And we need to really begin to emphasize, again, the role of the traditional nuclear family as the basis, the foundation for strong communities. And strong communities are the basis for strong states, and strong states are the basis for strong nations. If we don't pay attention to those three things, we will not make it as a nation.
What's the primary message you want to deliver as you meet with community leaders and students in our city today?
Well, I want kids to recognize that the person who has the most to do with what happens to you is you. And there's always an opportunity to point fingers at other people and at circumstances. But ultimately, it's you. And that's what I want the community leaders to understand also. But there are things that we can do that will help the kids to recognize their responsibility, not only to themselves and their development, but to their neighborhoods and to their nation. And the other message is that we are not enemies. You know, we have forces that are trying to drive wedges between people in our society on the basis of race, age, income, religion, political affiliation, gender, you name it, creating friction and having us fighting each other when in fact we have real enemies that we need to be concerned about and real potential to develop.
Thank you again, Dr. Ben Carson and his wife, Candy. They brought lots of energy and excitement to our community. They had a special privilege. We were hosting several students from Arsenal Tech High School in a very special mental health day. We do this almost quarterly. And they came and addressed those students, encouraging them. And we appreciate the investment they made, our friends at CareSource, investing in our students. Every kid will be mentored. The question's by who? If you'd like, go to our podcast, Breaking the Cycle of Poverty, where you can hear more about Dr. Carson and what he is wanting to do and how we together as a community can accomplish more for our kids. He's accomplished so much with the hands of a surgeon, and now together we all, with our hands, can do a lot of amazing things together. Remember, if you'd like to donate, go to shepherdcommunity.org and you can make a donation. Or if you'd like, you could donate items. And always paper bags, plastic bags, things that we could use in our pantry. We always can use cleaning supplies, paper plates, cups, and things. We feed a lot of meals, and we are trying our best to be good stewards of what we have. So thank you, and we look forward to, in just a few weeks, things will get racing here in Indianapolis. Check us out, Breaking the Cycle of Poverty. Donate, go to shepherdcommunity.org. We appreciate your help, and we appreciate Dr. Ben and Candy Carson.